Now with the Draymond Green and Kenyon Martin back and forth, it's really a continuation of the same key points that were brought up in the back and forth between Trae Young and Pat Bev. The two different NBA audiences, the ones that appreciate the individual scoring versus the other side of the coin where there's an audience that appreciates winning. And with winning, the NBA is always going to be a team game. That's where Patrick Beverly in the argument with Trae Young was bringing up a lot of his points. And then in this scenario, Draymond Green, Kenyon Martin quickly goes to individual skill sets and individual accolades to justify his place in some sort of imaginary hierarchy. But again, these podcast beefs are always interesting because you just see the two different sides of just the way players think and also how the fan bases think. But check out how this beef initially started. As going into the previous summer, Kenyon Martin and Nick Young both kind of slighted Draymond Green and some of the impact that he's had in the league.
But that man body of work is what it is. It's cool. Individual.
A lot of people were left out.
His individual body of work stands for itself.
That's why I picked him.
So that's cool. Let's not act like Draymond was fucking LaMarcus Aldridge.
He was doing what?
Let's not act like Draymond Green is LaMarcus Aldridge.
At all.
He's a champ.
At all.
That's the only thing he has on him. That's the only thing he has. That's the only thing he has on him.
It's not even close.
That's the only thing he has on him.
It's not even close.
That's the only thing that Draymond has on him.
Everything.
That's the only thing.
Everything.
We're talking about basketball
Everything.
here. We're talking about basketball.
Everything.
We're talking about basketball
Okay, LaMarcus
here.
can score. What else he can do?
Nigga, there's not.
What else can he
I
do?
can list 200 people that's better at basketball than Draymond Green right now.
Name me 200.
For one reason or another, I don't put him in the category with the guys that I named. That's all. And I've watched Draymond's career from the time he came in to now. And I think a lot of the things and the people who he has done things to has been calculated. I don't think it's not spur of the moment things. It ain't reactionary things. It's people, and I said it's just people who he hasn't hit someone or did something to someone and someone's instant reaction is the next step, right?
Now it's also interesting how Nick Young reacted when the LaMarcus Aldridge and Draymond Green comparison came about. He was like, oh, he's nowhere near. And pay attention to how Draymond Green kind of slights him right here in his response. There's going to be two strays. There's one for Kenyon, and I think for Nick Young, if he doesn't lay off that yak, he might have missed out on the stray that was coming his way.
A lot of shots coming out of Gil's Arenas podcast, in particular, Kenyon Martin. And it's a little disappointing. It's a little disappointing because for those of you that don't know, Kenyon Martin was born in Saginaw, Michigan. Kenyon Martin, dad, Paul Roby, played at my high school. And so, growing up in a city like Saginaw, Michigan, you're always looking for hope when you grow up in a city like that. So, another person that was born in Saginaw, Michigan was Serena Williams. And although these two people that I just mentioned didn't quite grow up in Saginaw, spent some of their younger lives in Saginaw, but didn't quite grow up in Saginaw. A city with so much pride, like a small city like Saginaw, still root for those people relentlessly. So I spent my childhood rooting for Serena Williams relentlessly because you feel that connection. So for Kenyon Martin to go on to be the number one pick, had the success that he had at Cincinnati, go on, and like I said, and have a pretty good NBA career. As a Saginaw native, you relentlessly cheer for those people. So the constant shots has been a little confusing to me because I don't quite know where they came from. And you think, someone that was a number one pick that didn't quite have the career that I've had, but played similar roles in a sense, would appreciate it, would show more love, especially when you go back to a kid born and raised in Saginaw. You think it'll be a little more love. So it's a little disappointing to see the constant shots. I just always thought it'll be a little more love than that. But when you were the number one pick and effectively, underachieved, I guess that would be the reason why. To be the number one pick and make the All-Star game one time, most would say it's probably an underachievement. Be that I was the 35th pick and made the All-Star game 4 times. Defensive player of the year, Kenyon Martin was a defender, I think. He would consider himself a good defender. Never quite reached the pinnacle of that when you talk defensive player of the years, or 9 all defensive teams that I had, that I have, and he has 0. It's tough to sit in a space of like continuing to speak on my name and call my name out as if I underachieved or am underachieving when I was just simply the 35th pick in the NBA draft and somebody took a swing on in the second round and it just happened to work out, to become one of the greatest players in the franchise history. It just happened to work out. You'd think there'd be more love from a guy who plays similar roles but underachieved a bit. Like, you think he'd be like, man, but look at the heights that this guy took it to. And then, so that the guys cut from a mold like us, that now it's a path created that they can take it to even higher heights. That's the love that I thought would be there, but it's just been a little weird and like constant shots, and due to my respect and my love because of the connection that I once shared, or still share from being, born and raised in Saginaw, Michigan, I've held off on responding multiple times. Number one, because I just know when I respond to shit, it takes on a whole nother world and guys get more publicity than they necessarily get when I don't respond. So I've been kind of taking the path of like, I ain't going to say nothing because I don't want to give people more publicity. But more importantly than the publicity, I try to stay in a space of respect. You know what I'm saying? I try not to be moved by someone just saying a thing or two. Because at the end of the day, I still have my beliefs. And my beliefs are, man, I've rooted for this guy for a very long time, So I'm not a wishy-washy guy. Just because somebody say something, I'm not just gonna jump out there and be like, oh man, like, I gotta respond or forget all of that. Like, nah, I stand on what I believe in. And what I've believed in is like, no, I supported that guy. So I'm not just gonna jump off the rails and attack him or be responding and getting in these back and forths because of the respect and love that I had growing up as a kid. But man, the shots just keep coming. And it's like, dang, why? And again, I just don't know how you can continue to shoot at me and you underachieve. Like, 1 All-Star? Make no mistake about it. You are an All-Star. I'll give you that. A lot of people can't say they're an All-Star, so I'll give you that. You're a one-time All-Star. That's beautiful. But you must admit, like, to be the player that you were and defender that you believed you were and to not have, like, a single all-defensive second team, it's kind of an underachievement. Number 1 pick in the draft. A lot of people look for that guy to win Rookie of the Year. Didn't. All rookie team, though. First team all rookie. That's an accolade that I can't say I have. I ain't really played much as a rookie as the 35th pick. So I can't say I made any all rookie team. So kudos. I tip my hat to that. It started off promising. But I just, like I said, man, the shots, they're just a little baffling to me. Because all the criticism, like, if I stopped playing basketball today, my career was better, way more impactful. I think Kenyon Martin lost in a couple NBA finals. He got to sniff it. Didn't quite get a taste, but got a little sniff of it.
Damn, this league is petty as a motherfucker. My man Draymond Green sniffing that shit. Yo, Dre is so petty. Oh my God.
Yeah, so you just your resume got to be a little better to just keep taking shots. It's not that people like your resume don't match up. People can't say, but these have been shots being taken, and it's just a little disappointing because, like I said, that's a guy who I cheer for relentlessly. Him in 2000 playing for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to see that championship through either. My big brother Martin Cleves went and took that championship. So yeah, man, it's just a little disappointing that it's kind of come down to this. I also, I see clips every now and then come from the show. And in particular, I see Kenyon Martin try to attack Nick Young about his NBA championship. But one thing I want to share with Kenyon Martin, and Rashad McCants, a couple guys who tries to attack Nick Young about his NBA championship is this. I know you guys don't understand what it means to win an NBA championship. And because of that, you guys attack Nick Young because y'all don't know what it takes. So I'm going to share with you all, non-champions, what it takes to win an NBA championship. So in an NBA championship, you have your guys who has to deliver on a roster. And for us, at times, that was me, Steph, and Clay, Andre Iguodala. But he coming off the bench, so there's still some grace. But me, Steph, and Clay, we had to deliver. You had to.
And a prime example of that was at 2022 NBA Finals. The way Draymond Green had that defense humming with Wiggins and I would say a more lesser version of Clay and even Gary Payton, he had that defense just in the right zone. Only Draymond really has that effect. Just the right positioning, everyone switching properly, recovering, getting in the gaps. And even current day with Klay Thompson leaving the team, we're seeing the real importance of Draymond Green, how what he does for the Golden State Warriors is a lot harder to replace than even Klay Thompson.
And then you have all your guys who play a role, and what role players do in NBA playoffs en route to NBA championships are, what they do is, what I like to call them is swing players. As opposed to role players, I like to call them swing players. What do I mean by swing players? Your job as a role player throughout an NBA championship run it's easier said than done, but the concept is simple. Your job is to swing one series. And what I mean by that is you be the piece in one series that swings the series. Because we know what Steph going to do. We know what Klay going to do. We know what Draymond going to do. We know what they're going to bring to the floor. We need one player that we're not necessarily expecting to do X to swing the series. And so when you go look at our championship run that Nick Young was a part of, Nick Young was the swing player in the Houston series. Game 6 or 7, Nick Young was one of the primary defenders on James Harden. Nick Young hit big threes. He swung the series for us. Guess what? Job done. When you talk about winning a championship, he swung the series. That's his job as a role player, to swing one series. He did that. So when you guys try to say his championship don't matter, he rolled, he just got a ring. No, he didn't. What he did was swing a series, but because you guys never won a championship, you don't quite understand that concept. So as a 4-time champion, I'm here to share with you guys that effectively underachieved of what it means for a role player to help contribute to an NBA championship. So I hope to not see more clips of you guys trying to shit on Swaggy and say his ring meant nothing and he did nothing for it. What he did was what you need a role player to do. What the New Jersey Nets needed Kenyon Martin to do. They needed you to swing the series.
No way he just called him a role player. Yo, Draymond is insane. They needed you to swing. Yo, Draymond is crazy. Yo, Kenyon Martin is gonna go ape shit, but I don't know if there's any extra strays coming Nick Young's way by just calling him a swing player, but hey.
But you couldn't swing the series, so y'all lost. Y'all got smacked. Nick Young swung the series. So as opposed to shitting on Nick Young, the NBA champion that you kind of can't do, understand a little bit of what he did. And maybe you can help the next generation swing a series. But yeah, hopefully there'll be more love, man. Because there's a lot of shots being thrown. And quite frankly, they're giving a little salty. I don't understand why. It's a little unfortunate. But I'm just here to help, man. You need help understanding what it is to be a winner, how to be a winner. I'm just here to help, fellas. Shout out to y'all, though. Gills Arena.
Oh, my God. Telling a player that's a first overall pick he can help the next generation to swing a series is crazy. But this is where this is where these guys are at, man. I'm not going to lie. The NBA is too petty. I can't even say this with a straight face, but Kenyon Martin had responded to Draymond Green telling him that he could swing a series, which is fucking crazy. This is nuts, but he responded to him. You guys check it out.
He comparing me and you, right?
Ain't no comparing.
No, they said I was supposed to do what you did, swing a series, right?
Yo, Kenyon Martin, you can hear the confusion in his voice. Telling a first overall pick to teach the next generation to swing a series is wild.
When the leading scorer is supposed to swing the series? I'm asking. Is that what he mean?
Based on his criteria, I don't think you'd fit the criteria of a swing player.
Yeah, so what the fuck is this clown talking about here, man? Like, who's swinging what series? I'm the leading scorer on the fucking team.
Draymond has completely trolled the fuck out of Kenyon Martin right here, man. I'm not gonna lie. Kenyon Martin right now looking like an angry ass uncle.
In the playoffs and the regular season, who swinging who what? What? J. Kidd had a bigger name, yes. J. Kidd was first team All-NBA, yes. He was, yes.
Yeah.
I led the team in scoring and fucking rebounding. Who's swinging what? I don't fit that fucking criteria.
Nobody
I'm
does.
sorry.
Nobody want to be a swinger.
Like, I don't swing series. I help win series. I help put foot to ass in series. I'm the main reason we swept niggas in series. I was a part of that. So me being a swing player in the series, no. Closeout games in the series. Knicks swept them in their house, 35 on their floor, 35-13 on their floor. Who's swinging what?
You led the team in scoring.
Yes.
Go, it's facts,
Well, how
Nick.
much you average?
It's facts, Nick.
How much?
Can I ask you
What does it matter? It could have
I'm
been
just
10,
saying.
Nick, 10 points, Nick.
I don't think it was that.
I led us in scoring with 10 points, Nick.
I'm just saying.
10 points.
We throwing this around.
It's
you,
facts.
You saying it to me like.
I'm saying it to the world because it's facts. You can go look it up.
Saying it to me like.
The world. You can go look it
I
up.
just want to know how much.
You can go look it up. 10 points. 10 points.
More than likely, it was probably under 20. Remember, back in those days, the final scores of some of these games were like 75-69. And that's also considered one of the worst eras of the NBA. It was never like that even before then. I would say in the 80s. If you look at the efficiency and the pace and the level of scoring, it's basically an identical style to the way we see games being played today.
In the finals when we lost to the Lakers, I averaged 22, led the team in scoring.
I'm talking about overall.
In the playoffs overall. Yes,
The whole
Nick.
season, you led the team in scoring.
Yes, Nick.
And what was that? 20 or something?
No, 10. 10 points. Average 10 points. More than 8. What your man averaged. He averaged 8 for his career.
Yeah, but the impact is overall different. The impact is different. The game is more than just scoring. If that was the case, then most of your best scorers would have been champions already. And not every 20 points per game or even 30 points per game is the same. Let's not get that fucked up. A LeBron James 25, 8 and 8 in 2012 is way different than a LeBron James 25 points per game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists in, I would say, the last 4 seasons. In 2023, 2024, 2025, it's just a whole different ball game, and the impact is not the same at all.
So I averaged 10.
I did too,
Yeah.
in my short period of time.
So you got to it.
And this
15
is
to 25 minutes, I looked at this.
this is a horrible father move that I'm finna make, right?
No.
But I didn't have this kind of information before when I first did it. Like, we talking about individual, like what you do on the. Never mind.
Don't do it.
Never mind.
Don't do it.
Never mind.
Can't we all just get along?
Never mind. Nick, I didn't want. So this was never about you. You know what I'm saying?
Never about you, bitch.
Like, so I don't want people to misconstrue that
You
this shit is
John
about.
Moran, nigga.
I'm
You
saying?
came
Yo.
in here not trying your motherfucking.
So I don't want
business.
this to make this about you because you don't know. You're naive in this shit, right? You're like, so
So y'all
I don't want to make it about you. So
Oh, y'all got personal beef?
no, he made it personal. I didn't. The man called me an underachiever, dog. You want to bring certain numbers and stats into this shit, talking about all this. I didn't. So you are collateral damage right now. My bad. I'm saying?
Non-champion.
My bad. So I'm a non-champion over here. But listen, I'm a non-champion over here. Yes, but guess what? Guess what, Nick? I get the same motherfucking love and respect when I walk down the motherfucking street as if I got 5, 4, 5, 6 of them bitches. Because guess what?
It's the difference between.
Because guess what?
Having them.
I stand on what the motherfucking I did, dog. I walk down the street proud.
But you act
talking
like
about-
this man or anybody else don't stand on what they did.
Cool, they can. I'm talking about me and him.
That's what I'm saying.
Me and him. Individual, not like, yes. Like, people want to keep talking about what? Cool.
Yeah, I get it.
Give him his flowers, please do.
And clear up the fact that I had your see,
You did.
You gonna fuck
You did,
around
but-
and find out.
What?
No, you didn't. It was the day when I said Draymond was top 20 and y'all was naming
Don't
everybody.
say y'all.
Yeah.
You said Elton Brand.
See, when they do these type of lists, these top 20 lists, like, they're probably just judging it off of individual skill. But as far as impact, it doesn't really get talked about too much, but that has to be considered when these lists are made. All these things at the end of the day, they're all subjective. You really can't even compare fucking errors.
I have
Okay, but-
always been on your side
It was more
when you
about-
was representing the corner boy.
Nah.
Nick.
Nah,
Nick?
I'm corner nigga.
Nah, he
Elton
knew who the
Brand-
fuck he was talking to.
Elton Brand better.
He did not
But-
mention the
but
name who
it's
may or may
still
not have
not 20
participated.
people better at the power
And this-
forward position better than Draymond.
Yes, it is. I named him. And
if
some.
somebody can average 14,
And some.
99, let me know.
Who?
15, 99 like Draymond.
When?
All-Star is
When?
First year he made All-Star. Almost
That's
average.
one.
The only one I question is probably the Dennis Rodman. That's about it.
When?
That's always been my question. Dennis Rodman.
But
Draymond Green.
Here's the issue. They never talk about the impact on the team and the results. Were you able to impact the game in a way where your team won and dominated during your era? If you're just making up these subjective top 10 and top 100 guards, of course, subconsciously, it's going to get looked at based off of skill only. But winning championships in the NBA, it always involves a team game. And this was really the gap in the Pat Bev and Trae Young beef. Not only a gap between the two players, but also a gap with the audiences.
What power
That's the only
forward
one I
averaged 8
question.
assists?
Other than that, I ain't.
Name a power forward. Y'all talking about buckets.
got
Name a
it.
power forward.
You know
averaged
why?
8
You know why
assists.
power forwards?
Uh-oh, Nick Young is off that yak. Put down the bottle. He's speaking the truth right here.
Don't average 8 assists.
I forgot about
Because
him. I
they
forgot
don't
about
pass the
Ben.
ball.
Because they throwing the ball to score.
They throwing it in the rim.
Nick.
They throwing it. They're not
Nick.
throwing it to 30.
It was
They're
so-
not throwing the ball
All
to
right,
number
so
30. They're
15.
throwing it in the rim.
Nick.
Dirt.
Nick. You heard what I so you didn't watch? Did you watch what I
Yeah,
Nick?
okay.
Nick, did you watch what I said?
The
Listen,
average.
When they threw it
average
to me,
number.
listen, Nick, when they threw me the ball, I was supposed to put it in the basket, dog. When they called turn 4, guess what? Hey, when they called turn 4, drop 4, when we called forwards out, reverse forwards out, slash, and all these other plays that we had to run, guess where the ball was going, Nick?
We
And guess
try
what I was
use
told to
that
do with it?
for Draymond.
Shoot it.
But we don't use these basketball for everybody else that we talk about. When
Who?
it comes to comparing people,
Who?
we don't do that for no LeBron
Who?
to Jordan, no
Who?
Kobe to Jordan.
Who?
But when Draymond, it's about offense.
Who?
Because you try to take away everything he won.
No, we
his
talking about the
defensive players,
totality.
his all-stars, his
No.
championship, his all-defensive
talking about
teams.
skill set,
But
not
you want to
accolades.
talk about
We
something,
said-
you know that everybody
set.
know he
No,
don't
I
fucking
said he made
score.
the- I said he made the Hall of
but
Fame
you
no
wanna,
matter what on
you
that
point
side.
out that one thing, but you try to
No, you don't
discredit
listen.
everything
Nick,
he does.
I
Yes,
said-
it is.
Nick,
you name it. Come on, man, let's stop.
No, that's what I said. What is
Nick,
I
the
said?
fact that this man got more 0-point games in his
Thank you,
career
that's
than
what
he
I'm
do
saying.
20-point games.
But he also got games where he had 12 steals, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, and fucking 0 points.
But I
So
said y'all
that's
having
different.
two
Nobody else
different
in y'all ever did
conversations.
that.
I
Who
said-
did that?
I said y'all are having
Nobody
two
does
different-
that. Who done that?
You're arguing a different conversation than he's arguing.
Me and
I'm
him
good.
play one-on-one? Is it what? So that's the
That's what
matchup,
y'all
right?
talking about.
No, so that's the matchup, right? Me and him play one-on-one?
Oh, you
See, here we go. It goes right back to an individual thing. When you do these rankings and these lists, you also have to consider the team impact. Nobody does these things. If that was the case, then the Bradley Beal archetypes would be ranked high in many of these lists.
When we talk about
goddamn self.
talent, just like how y'all talk shit about Patrick Beverly, what do you say? Okay. We all do it. We all do the same thing when we're saying who can play whose ball. We never mention defense. We don't think about.
See, once again, Gilbert is exposing subconsciously what is the thought process. It's a one-on-one thing. So you're judging it off of just skill set. But those 4 championship rings that Draymond is wearing, it would never come from that criteria. That's what Patrick Bev was talking about when he says, I don't know how it feels to tell my kids I'm coming home every April. I'm playing basketball into May, hopefully getting into June. Trae Young never addressed that point. Living up to the expectations of consistently being deep in the trenches to get to a championship.
About those dudes. We only think about the niggas who can score baskets. You have to argue for the defense if you're arguing for the defense. Other than that, we don't, when we're talking about anything, we don't not name Draymond Green or Dennis Rodman. We don't name Ben Wallace's. We ain't.
Man, all three of those guys are champions. Why you not naming them? Yo, Gil, what are you really saying? 3 players that are all Hall of Fame. What are you really saying, Gil?
Ain't talking about no motherfucking Bruce Bowens. They don't even exist
Damn, even Bruce Bowen, another champion.
in our world if we're scoring.
So championships don't exist in your world. That's what you're really saying, Gil.
That's the problem. That's what I said. Y'all having 2 different conversations.
No.
That's why I said
About
even if you
basketball.
take away team shit, he's still a Hall of Famer because his defense awards, just like Michael Cooper.
give
The
it to
niggas were so dominant defensively, they're gonna make the Hall of
I
Fame.
want to take nothing from him.
And he don't need to have no championships.
He earned
the
it.
defense is just that good in his resume.
He earned
you
it.
add the 4, he's first ballot.
Listen.
Nobody's taking that from him.
Please don't take nothing. Give it to him. He earned it. Yes.
We talking about.
Yeah, give it to him. I ain't take nothing. Give him his shit. Absolutely.
But
But
you
nah,
can't discredit
I just want to know where it all started.
you're not gonna call me underachieved. That's what you ain't gonna do. So
I feel
I don't give a fuck what.
Or call him a fucking swing player. Kenyon Martin, once again, he's like an angry ass unk right now. Like, it's like they just told him the new fashion trend and his clothes are out of style. Like, he is tight.
Do you think he overstepped with the
Fuck him.
overachieving shit?
Look,
But
him
what's
or anybody
the
that's got to
difference
say.
saying 200 people better than you and
They are, nigga.
so
But
what's the difference?
but because it's
if
the
you
question,
going at it,
Nick.
if y'all
It's the
going at
question.
it, y'all going at
No,
it.
there ain't no going at
I'm
it.
not about.
It is what it is. Pretty much a clash of 2 different ideologies between the players and even the NBA viewing audiences. The individual game versus winning championships, which would require players who have high impact on teams, whether that be scoring, playing defense. As long as there are W's in that column come May, April, June, shit, that's all that matters.